The only reason life feels heavy is because you are dragging your story everywhere you go. Drop it and you will see life was never a struggle, only your story was. The story is your prison. When I say you are dragging your story everywhere you go, I mean that you are carrying an image of yourself, who you think you are, what has happened to you, what was done to you, what you deserve, what you fear, what you hope for. It is a bundle of memory and imagination that you mistake for reality. You see, life itself is not heavy. The trees, the sky, the air, the movement of breath, none of it weighs anything. What weighs upon you is the idea you have of yourself. When someone says something to you, it hurts. Not because of the sound of their words, but because those words struck your story. When you feel resentment, it's not life you resent, it's the way life fails to match your story. When you feel guilt, shame, or pride, it's always in relation to the story of who you believe you are or should be. You carry this story like a corpse on your back, polishing it, protecting it, comparing it with others' corpses, terrified that it might be forgotten, and you call that living. The truth is, there is no story, there is only this moment. Life doesn't remember what happened yesterday, nor does it care what happens tomorrow. It is fresh always, it is light, it has no past, no identity, no agenda. You feel heavy because you refuse to live like life does. You keep bringing the past into the present. You keep narrating instead of seeing. You keep thinking instead of being. Drop the story, truly drop it, and you will see that there was never any burden. The one who suffered was the character, not the being. Tell me, can you live even one day without referring to your story? Without reminding yourself who you are, what you've been through, what you want? If you can, even for a few months, you will know freedom. Stories are like a yesterday's newspaper. It's worthless. What you're going to do with yesterday's news? Yesterday's newspaper, full of noise, drama, victory, tragedy, was everything yesterday. But this morning, it's garbage. Your story is the same. Yesterday's pain, yesterday's triumph, yesterday's humiliation, they exist only as ink on a page that no longer matters. Yet you cling to that paper. Reread it 100 times, quote it, defend it, weep over it, and call it your life. The man who carries yesterday's newspaper into today's sunlight is a fool. He cannot see the sky because his eyes are buried in print that no longer lives. You must see, life is always new. But you are old because you carry the dead with you. You walk through the freshness of the morning, dragging the corpses of memory. You call it me, my past, my identity. And that is why there is suffering. Because life moves like a river, but you cling to the banks shouting, "This is who I am." Drop the paper, let yesterday burn, then look. You'll find that without your story, there is nothing wrong. There is no weight, there is no you, only life itself. And that is the beginning of seeing. Let us go deeper. When I say you are dragging your story, I am pointing to the illusion of identity that the mind has built. The constant picture of me. This me is not real, it is a construction made of thought. Who you think you are is not who you are. It is a collage of experiences, opinions, fears, and memories that you keep alive through repetition. You say, "I am this kind of person. I was betrayed. I am disciplined. I was wounded. I am spiritual." All of these are nothing but echoes of thought. None of them exist in this moment. They are fragments of time pretending to be you. Life itself has no identity. The tree does not say, "I am a good tree." The sky does not claim, "I am the blue one." They simply are. That's why they are light, effortless, silent. But the human being, he carries himself. He carries his image like a suitcase that never leaves his hand. He checks if people respect it, protect it, agree with it. And when someone scratches that image, he feels pain. Not physical pain, but the pain of the ego being touched. That is the heaviness. That is the struggle. You see, the story wants continuity. It wants to be remembered, validated, protected. So every time you are quiet, every time you begin to be still, the story whispers, "Don't forget me. You have goals. You have wounds. You have something to prove." And immediately the heaviness returns. You can test this yourself. Go sit somewhere under a tree by a window and for a few moments drop everything you know about yourself. Don't be Tarun. Don't be a man. Don't be someone with a past. Just sit and exist. You'll notice something miraculous. There is no weight, no problem, no struggle. Because life, in its essence, is not heavy. only your idea of yourself is. The entire drama, joy and sorrow, failure and success, shame and pride, is nothing but a movie being played in the theater of your mind. If you can see that clearly, really see it, you won't need to drop the story. It will dissolve on its own because you'll realize it was never there. Let's go to the core of it. When you drop the story, what really happens is that you stop being the character you've been playing, the one who is always winning, losing, hurting, healing, becoming. That character is born from thought. It exists only as a mental image, a bundle of memory, emotion, and projection that says, "This is me." Every event in life, success, rejection, heartbreak, insult, touches that character, not you. The being, the one who truly is, does not move. It is the silence awareness behind all movement. It is untouched by praise or blame, gain or loss. But because you identify with the character, because you mistaken the role for the actor, every scene feels personal. Every word feels like a wound. You say, "I am suffering." But look closely, who is suffering? It is the character in the story, the one who was wronged, who wants justice, who longs for love, who fears failure. The being simply sees. It has no opinion, no history, no identity. It is like the screen in a cinema. The fire, the war, the heartbreak, they play upon it, but the screen is never burned, never torn, never stained. You have confused yourself for the movie when you have always been the screen. So when I say drop the story, it is not an act of doing, it is an act of seeing. Seeing that the story is not you, seeing that the one who suffers is imagined, seeing that what you are cannot be touched by the story's rise and fall. And when that is seen, the burden dissolves. Not because you fought it, not because you escaped it, but because you discovered that the one who carried it was never real. The character suffers, the being only is. Here is the essence. All your suffering, all your heaviness, all your struggle belong to a character that does not exist. You have spent your life protecting this ghost, polishing it, feeding it with memory and imagination, and wondering why peace never arrives. Life itself has no burden, only the story you tell about life does. The one who you think is wounded is just a thought. The one who seeks freedom is already free. The one who suffers is a mirage created by identification. When you see this, not as philosophy, but as fact, the game ends. There is nothing to fix, nothing to become, nothing to achieve. There is only being, silent, simple, bold. So the takeaway is this: you were never the story, you were the awareness in which the story appeared and disappeared.